Good morning and welcome to the Correct Solutions. Today we're doing a DVD review. This DVD review I have about 14 TF on. There's cooperation with RTBF, Belgian television station as well sometimes, and they are Police National documentaries called Meurtre. So Meurtre means murders in, and then you put in a town like Avignon or Strasbourg, and then like it's murders. You see, it's not called murder. Like if there was a homicide tomorrow in the town, and an arbitrary town, it might be an open and shut case, or the investigation might go on for 20 years. But if there's no more murders in that locality of 5 kilometer or 50 kilometer range, there won't be a suspicion of a serial killer. But what happens is the police captain is investigating the case in the first 48 hours, creating a list of alibis or not for the prime suspects, and creating a list of people to haul in on requesting under the act, that they can haul them in to see play good cop bad cop and find out what they know about the motives. And in that time, another murder in a 5K radius is committed, and then it's called murders because Police National are on red alert. If they were already on red alert because somebody was murdered, now there's a serial killer on the loose, and it's nothing to do with organized crime. It's their civilian murders. So they are really scared that this is going to get out of hand, and that's when the plot thickens. So today's one, they're double DVD. I've got 7 of them, so I've got 14 movies altogether. This one is Rouen, so it's called. You just see it there. Meurtre l'Abbé de Rouen. Murders at Rouen Abbey. So I'll just read it there. Tout juste de retour au pays pour se rapprocher de son père malade, le capitaine de police, en méthode affirmée, Didier Mage, est appelé sur une scène de crime. Un cadavre a été retrouvé sur le parvis de l'abbé de la ville de Rouen. L'homme est tombé des coursives et l'étrange position du corps intrigue de Captain Mage. Elle lui rappelle au vitrail fabriqué par son grand-père au début de sa carrière de maître. So, I'll just translate that there for the uninitiated. Just having returned to the country to look after his sick father, the captain of the police, Didier Mage, so Didier, is the hero because the captain is always here, like Catherine Jacob would have been in what you call it, Murders in Avenue, if you know that one. It's called a scene of crime. A corpse is found in the courtyard of Rouen Abbey, which is a massive cathedral like Basilique Saint Pierre in Avignon, or something like Basilique Sagrada in Barcelona, in Catalonia. Like, remember, you see, a cathedral is only the head of it. Like a church, like Balmoral Church is like a cathedral, but it's not a cathedral because it's not the head of the diocese. Cove Cathedral is the only cathedral in the Diocese of Cloyne, but it's not a basilica. A basilica must be appointed by Rome. I think it was Pope Benoit says who made Catalonia basilica, something like that. It's done as a personal favor to the diocese. So he finds it in the cathedral courtyard. The man has fallen in a strange position of his body that intrigues Captain Meg, and it intrigues you. And then he calls it reminds him of his grandfather and the career in the start of his career as maitre verrier. So maitre verrier were people who worked on the docks, because Rouen is on the docks like Corrigan's Wharf in Cork, you see. So they were people who worked on the docks as transporters. And his grandfather was involved in that. And then there's, at the start in Police National, sorry, I only have 8.5 minutes, I only have 4.5 minutes left now, so since brevity is the soul of wit, I shall be brief. At the start in the homicide investigation, he says either suicide, voluntary homicide, involuntary homicide, or an accident that their man fell off the church. Then this guy is found with their wallet in his possession of the body, and he says, I robbed her wallet, but I didn't kill her. He's a criminal. He's a petty criminal. He says, I robbed her wallet, but I didn't. And there's three detectives standing around. He's in cuffs, and they're kind of giving him good cop bad and saying, like, what are you doing with her wallet if you didn't kill her? He said, I robbed her wallet for the money, but I didn't kill her. So your man says, deal a verite, the senior cop, deal a verite, tell the truth, like, because they really suspect him that they have their man. And then while he's in custody, another person is murdered. And that's when he's still on garde à vue, which is custody in France. They keep him in garde à vue, but he's only wanted then for being a petty criminal, and he's already so up to his neck in court cases, like with the justice, that he's not small potatoes, But they keep him in custody for a while, and he's got nothing to do with it. And then the plot thickens, and he finds this thing in a window. The priest shows him bits of a window that it looks like, and he finds out that it's something to do with the stained glass windows. And then there's a flashback sequence. His grandfather starts recounting stuff to him on his dying bed in the hospital. What happened with what they called maitre verriers, and the maitre verriers were one of this image. This thing then is shown in 1943 in the Abbey, and you see it all in the movie. It's a flashback. You see, his father is talking over, and you see it. There's these young lads with berets who are up in the pulpit hiding, and they're in the resistance. And there's resistance with guns up on the gallery, up where the organ is, and there's a Gestapo and his assistants in there. And one of the resistance gives away one of his acquaintances to the Gestapo, and he gets sentenced to death. And later, then Jan, who is the carer for his grandfather in his dying bed, is the real murderer. You see, she pushed your one off the roof, and she killed two other people as well in this course of this investigation, because she was trying to kill all the relatives of the maitre verrier who denounced them to the Gestapo. It's a revenge murder. So when she was a little girl, they show a flashback sequence when she was a little girl. Her grandparents and their father had a huge argument in the garden about who denounced that guy that resistant to the Gestapo. And it's a big, big secret. And then in the final scene, she says, I'm going to throw myself off the roof. He follows her up the roof, and he's got leather vertige, and he saves her from killing herself, but she just gets lifted straight away then when she comes down. Her life is saved to do 25 for life for what she done, but there's no winners apart from the grandfather dies happily, but he never finds out what happened. But the truth comes out about what happened in Rouen Abbey in 1943. It's like a gothic horror movie.